Hello everyone, how are you today? We're recording this on the Feast of the Ascension, Ascension Thursday. And as you can see, we're in church, and I just wanted to send a particular message to all of you who are asking questions about when are we going to reopen, how is this going to happen, what are we going to do? And yes, we're reopening this weekend with an abbreviated schedule. So instead of the usual 5 masses, we're going to have 3. Saturday at 5, Sunday at 10 a.m., and Sunday again at 6 p.m. Now, what's going to happen is, of course, you should have received by now either a flock note or a letter from us outlining how we're going to accomplish this. The guidelines, we are observing them as strictly as we can, and with very few exceptions, we have organized everything according to the guidelines. So I want you to make sure that you understand, as I said in the letter, we're doing all of this for our own protection. It is not to be difficult, but it is to have us understand that with this coronavirus, we are not in control. We are in control of only of how we manage our reaction to it, with patience, with grace, with kindness, and understanding of what our position is. Now, according to the guidelines, we could have 40% occupancy in the church. However, it would not, if we did 40% occupancy, then we would not be able to observe the 6-foot guidelines. So we are capping attendance at each Mass at 76 people. And regrettably, if 77 show up, 1 person will not be allowed in. Now it might sound harsh, and it is, but I just want to remind you that for the past 10 weeks, I've been the priest on call for the hospital and for all the parishes in the Leominster-Fitchburg area. That means, especially in the hospitals, I've gone to anoint patients who have the COVID virus. And it's extraordinary how simply they can catch it. So please, be patient and be understanding, and God's grace will get us through. So let's understand that what we're doing, again, to reiterate, that we're doing for our own safety. So when you come to church, you're going to be greeted at the doors by an usher who will escort you down to your seat. Now don't get upset. You may not be able to sit in your regular seat. I understand. Although I will always have my seat, so there you have it. My friends, let's understand that if our perspective is, I want what I want, you're not going to get it. But our heart's desire is to come to receive Jesus again in the Eucharist. But I also want to encourage you to do it slowly. That's why we have so few spaces, even though the church conceivably could sit 450 people. But right now, 76. So at each Mass, that will be our goal. Okay? So, again, as I say, you'll be greeted and you'll be welcomed warmly, but you will not be allowed in, as I say, unless you have your mask on. It's essential. Absolutely essential. Also, we will have hand sanitizer available as you come up to receive the Eucharist. However, if you choose to bring your own, that's fine too. All right? Ours is lemon scented. I know there's lavender and cinnamon and all those other flavors out there, but whatever you wish, use that, bring it, but realize that sanitizing our hands is important. I also want you to understand too that before Mass and after Mass, the church will be wiped down in those areas where people have sat and sanitized for the following day, or for later on in the day if it's Sunday. So we're taking every precaution and every effort to make sure it's clean. Again, that means, and I know one of our favorite pastimes is to be able to stand in the church after Mass and chat. We can't do that. As soon as you're escorted out of church, we're going to come in and out the same door. As soon as you're escorted out of church, then social distance in the parking lot and be able to see who you like, okay? But I think our cooperation, our understanding about who we are and what we're doing in a gradual reopening is to our benefit. When it is time to receive communion, the procedure will be different from what we're accustomed to. We're going to start from the back of the church by the front doors with an usher who will bring you down front to whoever it is that is distributing the Eucharist. This weekend, be myself, Monsignor, or Gustavo, our seminarian. Before you come down the aisle, the usher will offer to spray your hands with a hand sanitizer, unless you do that yourself before you come down the aisle. Not when you've come into church, but prior to just leaving your pew to come down to receive the Eucharist, okay? So once that's done, you'll approach the priest and he will have the Eucharist. What you're going to do is your arms and hands are going to be stretched out as far as you possibly can do it. You're going to see on the floor, there's a mark for you to stand. And when you get to that mark, you extend your hands as far as possible. And then you come up to the priest. At that time, the priest will place the Eucharist in your hand, drop your mask, consume the Eucharist, pull up your mask, and then go back to your seat. Okay? Laura's going to help us demonstrate this. Okay? Okay? Arms all the way up. Body of Christ.
Amen.
You see, I place it in her hand, and I do not touch her hand anywhere. If a Eucharistic minister touches the hand, he or she, or myself, will then turn around, have hand sanitizer before the next person comes. Okay? Once you've consumed it, you place your mask back on your face, and you go back to your seat. Very simple, but again, it's not this. Okay? You cannot, please do not take the Eucharist, because you'll be touching my fingers, I'll be touching yours, and then we have to stop everything and sanitize. So again, not touching is of critical importance. I strongly encourage you to not receive the Eucharist on the tongue, if it's at all possible, because transference of germs is pretty much guaranteed. Okay? My biggest fear, as I'm sure it is for you, is in case of resurgence, or should someone come to Mass and having been exposed to the virus, or having had having the virus itself, and passing it on to other people, that is, to us, that's very fearful, and as it is to you. And you'll see in the letter what we'll be able to do should something like that happen. But in the meantime, I'm trusting you. I know you, that is a valuable thing, to be trusted to use good judgment for the sake of others, not for yourself, for what I want, or where I want to sit, or how I want to do things. If we are here as Christians, and we are here to serve. It's going to be a very different life from here on in. But we can do it because we're capable with God's grace. All right? Know that I love you. I have missed you terribly. And can't wait to see you. All right? So trust Our Lady, who is Our Lady of the Lake, her Son, Jesus Christ, the power of the Holy Spirit. God will be with us and remains with us, as he says in today's gospel, to the end of the age.